I forget what the statistics are, but like 1/3 of Filipino workers are domestic helpers, which is basically live-in prostitutes. First of all, I want nothing to do with Philippine culture. I don't really want nothing to do with it, to be honest with you. I think Philippine culture sucks. I think it's stupid and it don't work. Filipinos are hard to deal with. They're ignorant. A lot of Filipinos have attitude problems. They're complete assholes. They're rude. They're very rude. They're really selfish assholes in a lot of ways. It's just the way it is. Yeah, I don't like it, but it's not going to change. Selfish assholes. What?
Mr. Peter, you've went to my shop last Sunday and you ran off.
Last Sunday? Wait.
No, don't fuck with me because we have a CCTV recording there. We can pull up the CCTV and prove it's you.
Okay, whatever. I guess we'll be back. 250 pesos.
Yeah.
I said I'll take care of it. I don't see why this is a continuous.
So you have to pay.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
I don't want trouble, okay?
I don't want any trouble either.
Kitain po, umay mo, tatlo mo.
They will steal from you for the sake of themselves. They think of themselves and their family before they think of you. The ones that are far from God are complete assholes. They do some really, they're really selfish people. They only think about themselves and their families. I would say that 90% of people behind the wheel don't know basic traffic laws. That's a problem. 80% of Filipinos don't understand how to form a line. They will shove you around, but they won't shove me around because I'll knock them on their ass. But they will try and shove you around. They do some really, really stupid shit.
All they care about is getting your money. It goes from the government all the way down to the tricycle driver.
They don't have an education. Most Filipinos don't even know what the hell's going on in Mindanao. When you deal with the poor, you're dealing with people that are really stupid. The lower class is the pain in the ass. Where girls are desperate, will do anything for a peso. And this is why I struggle with the poor so much, is they're just completely stupid.
They see white people as someone to scam. Your job is to give them money. That's it. They see you as an ATM account, and that's it.
Bloodthirsty Filipinos. The food here just sucks. I'm just going point blank. Indigenous food sucks. It's nasty. I only eat it if I'm in some podunk town and there's nothing else there to eat. Most of it's not even edible. I wouldn't even feed most Filipino food to my dog. OFW, Filipinos that go work to buy Hong Kong, Japan. It's breaking society. Families are broken apart. Adultery is becoming rampant because of overseas Filipino workers. OFWs resort to crime to feed their greed. OFWs do nothing but destroy the Philippines. Don't give me this sense of Pinoy pride, but because you have zero nationalism. You left your country to go build someone else's. You care more about the development of another's country than you do of your own. You do not care about the development of the Philippines, and you talk about Pinoy pride and all that. It's all BS. It's all BS.
Wait, that's why we have so many kids in the internet shops and so many kids on the streets. It's because their mommy and daddy are in Dubai and Hong Kong, and they're not here being parents. Don't give me you Filipino pride and all of that when you're on the first plane you can get out of here to Hong Kong, Dubai, wherever. If you really love the Philippines, you wouldn't leave. The Philippine overseas workers are the problem, not the solution. First of all, if it's such a good thing to go overseas and such a positive thing, why is the elite not going? You would want to send your best, not your worst.
The fact of the matter is you have zero nationalism and zero love for your country. Zero zilch.
You have no right to go build a road in Dubai when your own roads have potholes. We have a society of broken families because you would rather work overseas to make a few extra bucks than you would to work here. Build your own country before you go building other people, and quit abandoning your kids. Being a domestic helper for some rich guy, rich Arab, is not a necessity.
Many OFWs end up being mistresses for their employers. But they don't care. It's all about the money. It has become common practice for a Filipino domestic helper, which usually means poor person, to be a live-in prostitute for her employer. She is a whore. It's as simple as that. She is a whore. It's as simple as that. You know, and domestic helpers, give me a break. Give me a break. I forget what the statistics are, but like 1/3 of Filipino workers are domestic helpers, which is basically live-in prostitutes. For money. When they have one or two working overseas, the whole family just chills out and relaxes and goes, you know, we're waiting for our remittance and we're waiting for our daughter to send us some money. And then when we get the money, it's party time. And we're going to have karaoke at the house, and we're going to have the neighbors over, and we're going to have a fiesta. And you think I'm joking, but this is actually going on. And yeah, I mean, they play basketball and they sleep. And nobody thinks nothing of it, because the sister is slaving in Hong Kong. OFWism has made Filipinos lazy. Lazy. OFWism is the problem. It is not the solution. We have bridges that need to be constructed, but we don't have the skilled labor because our skilled labor has left the country. OFWism is destroying families. She can't raise her kids in the Philippines. She pawns them off upon her family, but she'll go try and raise someone else's kids in Hong Kong for a little bit of money. Family is more important than money. I have an issue with the fact that we have kids that are growing up without mom and without dad, and and without the family unit in place.
You have children, yet you abandon your children to go overseas to work. Let me say that again. You abandon your children to go overseas to work.
It is breaking down the family unit. A 17-year-old girl has no business at 3 o'clock in the morning out singing karaoke with a bunch of guys. And don't give me the conservative, good Christian Catholic girl culture. Good Catholic girls aren't singing karaoke at 3 a.m. So this girl gets pregnant. And all of a sudden she wants to go overseas. But she can't go overseas with her child, her son. So she goes. And the son is passed from grandparents to aunts to uncles to cousins. And he's basically raised as an orphan, basically, because the parent is gone. And you know, once every 2 years they come back and the kid goes, "Who are you?" "I'm your mama. I've never seen you. I'm your mama." So what you end up happening is you have these kids that are growing up without parents.
So your kids are raised without parents because you care more about making a couple extra bucks. They don't need iPhones, they need mom. They don't need Androids, they need dad.
And some of them are domestic helpers. A domestic helper is basically when a girl has zero skills. We're dealing with people that will risk their lives for an extra buck. They care more about making an extra buck than they do if their kids are raised. While their children sit in the Philippines being raised by grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and they hardly see their mother or father. And you think that's positive? Seriously, an orphan generation is good? You think that's going to help for the development of the country? Really? An orphan generation? You care more about the development of your bank account than you do the development of your country. The fact of the matter is you have a bigger love for money than you do for your nation. Because if you loved your country, it wouldn't matter, you would stay. You can go and you can build a bridge in Hong Kong, you can build a bridge in Dubai, you can build bridges in Yemen, a known terrorist state, but you can't come and you can't build bridges in your own country. OFWism has left a nation without mothers and fathers. They have children, and then the parent runs to Hong Kong to be a live-in, well, you know what that is, and to give services to their employer that they live with, that the employer is normally married. But they will risk their lives for an extra buck. Back in Missouri, we call that greed. I don't know what we call it, what you would call it, but in Missouri, back in Missouri, we call that greed. Okay? Because both their parents in some cases are in different countries. And they see no issue with that. It is destroying lives. It is messing people up. Kids don't need iPhones, they need mom. They don't need iPads, they need dad. The OFW, they want to move to Hong Kong, and if you have a child, you need to take your child with you. Quit trying to be the world's savior when your own country's screwed up. You know what? We need to build our own roads before we worry about building roads in Dubai. They cause some serious problems within the Philippines, but then they also cause disruptive problems outside, wherever they are.
One of the people that supported Jesus was Mary Magdalene, a whore. Hold on. A whore supported her. That would equate to Filipinos. Oops, did I just say that? I'm sorry. Oops.
OFWs are complaining right now that they're afraid that this $80 million scam is going to make remittance hard upon them. Here's my message to them. Get over it. At the end of the day, what little benefit we get, that Filipinos get from remittance, I don't see that it actually is building the economy. I don't see that it's benefiting the society, and I just don't see any benefits in it at all. We got problems with drug mules. We got people that are willing to transport drugs for big amounts of cash. They will risk their lives to make money. You know, one of the big problems with overseas Filipino workers, and I'm going to speak specifically to the women. Well, I will speak both, because this is both going on. The women have been involved in sex scandals, in minty sex scandals overseas. Filipinos are ended up in legal trouble all over the world because they're willing to do extremely risky stuff that is illegal. So, for extra money. For the women it's prostitution, for men it's drug running. The Philippines sends the rejects of the country. America sends the cream of the crop. The last thing that I would say about this whole thing with the OFWs is this. You know, the United States, we send the cream of the crop around the world. When we send out people to work internationally, we send the best we got, okay? We send out the top tier, our military, that are normally the best trained and best equipped to do what they've been sent to do. And even our civilians, we're not sending out high school dropouts to work around the world. We're sending out engineers, doctors, you know, things like that. People with masters and PhDs. That's who we send around the world, not high school dropouts. How much is it supposed to be for a Filipino? Hold on! How much is it supposed to be for a fucking Filipino? People like you, what the fuck's wrong with this country?